I did not love property management, which is where I started in the industry, but I love what I learned when I was doing it. And just like in life, sometimes your worst or not your favorite job is the one where you learn the most. And I think that's where I learned the most.
I'm fortunate to be able to call Alex my friend. Or at least I hope that's the case, because he's a scary dude. Like but no. Here's where I want to start. So everybody knows Alex because he's got those guns.
Okay.
But here's the thing: what I've learned in my dealings with Alex is it takes a huge heart to pump those guns.
Hey, I'll take it.
I'm here all week.
Yeah.
No, not
good,
really.
man.
I'm leaving Tuesday. But no, so I want to start is actually your nonprofit. We'll get to the work stuff, but,
Okay.
but tell the audience, because let me back up. Why are we doing this? We have some amazing people in our industry.
Sure.
I mean, absolutely outstanding human beings in our industry, and so we want to highlight those things.
Okay.
And so tell the audience your nonprofit, because I know that's part of why you wake up every day.
For sure. It's my favorite thing to talk about. My nonprofit is The Greatest Commandment, Inc., based off the greatest commandment in the Bible, which is to love God with all your heart, mind, body, and spirit, and love your neighbor as yourself. And this is our 4th year in operation. We started shortly after COVID. We were able to keep our jobs. Me and a couple of buddies that were working out of my garage during COVID were able to keep our jobs, and we were like, hey, what can we do? And we all had a heart for the homeless and those who were in need, and there were a lot more people in that position at that time. So we started doing some self-funded, just giving out swag, giving out toiletry items, necessities to people downtown. And we started fundraising for that on, the fundraising apps and all that stuff. And after a while, people started asking us, it's so weird. You got 3 guys just coming around asking for money to do this thing, but there's nothing really to show for it. Like, they're like, hey, should I give them money? Should I not? So I figured we better make it official, incorporate as a nonprofit so that they're tax deductible donations, and I can create a website and do all these things to make it legitimate. So
I'm not just rolling up to your house, rolling down my window and saying, hey, can you give me some money?
Just give me some money. I promise I'll use it for something good.
Yes.
Don't worry about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because I'll be honest with you, Alex, if you roll up on me, I'm going to give you some money. You're a big dude.
Yeah, but then when you tell the police how it happened afterwards, they might come get me too. So
yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. No, and I know you. So you have annual events.
Yep.
Right.
Annual events. We have 3 annual events. We do an Easter event for the kids. We do a back to school event for the kids, and we do a summer event for the kids annually. And then we serve every Saturday, except for second Saturday because a big church comes, but we serve every Saturday other than that at the Coalition for the Homeless downtown. And we also source volunteers for them with us on Saturday and all throughout the week from people in our network who, as they need, more and more volunteers, as more and more residents are coming to the coalition just because of different macroeconomic circumstances.
So huge commitment. Obviously, you're given a lot of time.
Yeah.
So if anybody says, you know what, I have an interest in helping you, what can they do?
They can.
They can give money.
Yeah.
Like we covered that.
Treasure and time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your treasure and your time. If you can't give money, that's fine. If you can give me some treasure, some time, that's even better. Yeah. I'd love to have you come, and it's great for kids too that need hours for school, for their scholarships or for whatever they're trying to do. But also, it's good for them to see. I think a lot of kids in this day and age are entitled, and they don't understand. Like, they feel like they're destitute if they can't go do the thing they want to do, as opposed to people who actually don't have shoes to put on their feet. And they see kids their age that are coming through the line. It creates a different mindset, I think, in people. So that's another way you can help. And also just spreading the word. Like, if you don't have the ability to help or the time, tell other people. Maybe they do. Pray for us. Do whatever you can. I'll take anything positive towards the goal. And my ultimate goal is to expand what we're doing by increasing our program to other locations outside of Central Florida. But at the time right now, it's hard to even keep the donations that we have coming in, just because everybody's feeling it at the pump, at the in their grocery bill, and everywhere else.
Yeah. So I didn't know if we were going to get in a state of economy.
Okay.
Right. But that's how these roll. And so I look at trend data. I see a lot of high increase in people who are car payments. They're maxed out their credit cards. We're starting to see a little bit of pressure in the industry. How does somebody, because I know you've had these conversations with those people on the street, talk about how easy it is to wind up there?
It's easy and it's hard. Like it's crazy because, you know, if you think about, you know, I use myself as an example. I have a foundation. I have a family. I have friends. I have people I can reach out to if I'm in a state of need. Now, I have pride too, so it's going to be hard to potentially do that. But if I put my pride aside and I'm able to ask for help, those people will likely help me for a time. But if things don't get better, you know, they're not going to be able to help me further just for economic reasons. They have other responsibilities, and I get that. It takes a lot to get to the street, I think, for people. But at the same time, it takes a lot for their support system and all that. It doesn't take much. Most people are about 2 paychecks away from being on the street, and they may not feel that way because their paycheck's coming in their mind, but you have a medical issue. You have, you know, your grocery bills now, your normal amount of groceries is only covering 2 grocery trips and not 4, you know, every week for a month. You know, you have a death of someone, you know, or you go through depression or you get hurt or anything can put you there, and keep you from those 2 paychecks that are keeping you in your home. So I say it's easy and it's hard. It's crazy that small things like increases in gas prices or the pandemic was a big thing, but increase in gas prices can increase the amount of people who are at the shelter. So it'll, you know, until it's maxed out. I don't know if that answers your question.
No, I think it's really relevant because we sometimes miss how fine a line it is to fall over an edge, and how I was almost going to ask you the statistical question of can you correlate something with the number of people that are at your events? And you just did that. And so I think it is good to be mindful of that and the influences of small things. And just, I know your heart is to serve a community. And we get to do that by bringing buildings and services and stuff like that, and that's great. But there's a humanity side of it that a shelter might help. But maybe some other things that we're excited to do in our business doesn't translate to those individuals. And so I'm glad that you have that outlet, and I would absolutely spend a few minutes with you, and some people open some wallets, and it's absolutely time. But we're an amazing community. And so I'm glad that we could give you that spotlight to start. Now for the fun stuff.
All right.
I got David Gabai sitting down with me in a little bit. I need some dirt on David Gabai. Let me back up. Right. So Alex obviously just recently joined Colliers. Are you through your year honeymoon yet?
Yeah, I'm through a year. My year was right before Memorial Day. So
okay.
So end of May I was a year. Okay.
All right. And I know you're glad to be there, and a great
Very
organization,
glad.
And you're doing some fun stuff. I'm coming back to David Gabai because I want dirt. But one of the things you guys are doing is really cool. Part of this podcast, we're trying to bring some education to the community. You guys started a round table or a presentation where you're talking about all these different industries. How did that come about, and where are you guys going with that?
It came about just as a need. I think as Colliers in general, specifically Colliers in Orlando, where I'm responsible for recruiting, we don't have a young brokerage. A young broker to us is in their mid to late 20s. We don't have any of those people directly out of school. We do have interns that come, but usually if we have several interns, maybe one gets on with the team, maybe none, because it depends on that team's ability to provide for that person. And there's a lot of different jobs in the industry that we do. I mean, from architecture, engineering to
no, we're not allowed to talk about Colliers engineering. No, I'm just kidding. We're actually doing it. Our dinner. We co-host a dinner in Vegas with your extension. The other Colliers tentacle into my space. But I appreciate you. No,
imitation's the biggest form of flattery, isn't it? We just want to be like you every day when we wake up, man.
Yeah. I got that. Thanks for that. Thanks for that, smoke and mirrors. No, I'm just playing. So absolutely. So you guys are part of your recruiting. We're gonna create a venue where people can learn. But I was in one of those rooms That's not just students.
Yeah.
So how are you trying to influence the industry?
Well, we want to show people that our culture and the way we do things is different. We want to expose ourselves to other people in the industry and see how they're doing them. We also do, a roundtable with students, which is where I came from before I came here, which is the one I'm more focused on, I guess, which is why I went directly to the students. But I'm also on the board, and we have a committee chair of Florida Retail Scholarships, which is a nonprofit that brings people here to ICSC and all that kind of stuff. So we're trying to garner interest in the industry, especially from underrepresented people in the industry, because I think that more ideas and from more diverse people would help us be a better industry as a whole, right? Because, real estate isn't just used by any homogenized type of person.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if I answered your question.
No,
but
I don't remember what my question was, but that's okay. So recruiting. So you're having panels.
Yep.
Some cases. Now, are you bringing in your competitors to sit on those panels?
Not usually. No.
Not usually.
We will in certain scenarios
That's okay.
because
You
we
need
work
to
with
invite
them.
me, because then all of a sudden we'd have one of your Collier's engineering competitors. No, I'm
No,
just
you're happy. I'm happy to have
no,
you. I had our last
listen.
one.
Listen, you guys are producing great content. So for those that have an interest, I know you guys talked about retail. You guys talked about, I think, office. You talked about office. And I'm sure you have lots more to come up with.
Yeah, we're trying to do it as it goes.
What do you tell the young recruit, right, graduating from, I don't know, all those schools that you hate as a bulldog? What do you tell all those students to come work for you, or why should they come to Collier?
Man, I think they should come to Colliers because our culture. I love our culture, man. We have fun while we're doing it, but we work hard. But we also, it's a place where you can be entrepreneurial, and I think that specifically for the young people coming into the industry, we have some great professionals that I think can pour into them and teach them the right way to do it. All I need is good work ethic and attitude. I know you went to school and you got good grades and all that stuff, and that's great. That shows your human capital. But all that really goes out the window once you get to the workplace. Like, we're going to teach you the way to do things. And just like Kahachi, you guys teach people the way that Kahachi and Peterson does things when they come. Yes, they got their engineering degree. Yes, they got their architectural. They know what they're doing in school. They did great. That's great. Now you're going to really pay your dues and learn how to do what the real business is. And I want to make sure that the people that we bring into the industry are made in, hopefully the ones that come through us are made through Collier's image. But in order to make them in Collier's image as far as what they do out in the workplace, we need to make sure that we're doing things the right way, so it keeps us on our toes as well.
So what's your critical onboarding elements? How do you, when somebody comes in as an intern, or as they come in as a first-time employee, what does it look like to walk in the door with a master's degree from one of those schools in real estate, which means, yes, they got a piece of paper and they got some good knowledge, but now they got to put up or shut up in a very competitive industry, frankly. So what's it look like when they walk in the door?
Well, what it looks like when we walk in the door is we do our normal Collier's onboarding process, and I check in on you, make sure you're good with that, make sure you're good with your team, everybody's set up in the system, can do everything to do. And once all that's set, then I come and we do a one-on-one meeting. I do a one-on-one meeting with you, and our operations folks do a one-on-one meeting with you. And I sort of just lay out, how I envision things going. It's with your, if you're on a team, it's with the people on your team. If you're coming in by yourself, then I'll come directly with you. But I want to lay out, I want to, one, get to know you a little bit, let you get to know me a little bit, let you know what our goals are at Colliers, which is to service the client first always, and to do that the best way possible, whether it means, combining our resources, or if you can do it on your own, that's great. But also letting people know that I'm there for them, and that, I understand that they're new and they're going to have questions and they're not going to know the answer. It's okay to not know. But once you figure out what you don't know, then you go find out, how to get that information. And like I said, good work ethic and good attitude, and it's crazy how hard those two things are to find sometimes. But there's a lot of great students out there that are a lot more astute than I was at their age, a lot more involved at this level of their life.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? In some ways, you're like, please work harder. And in other ways, man, they're so freaking smart.
Exactly. Well, I'm always going to push it regardless. Like I'll let them know a couple years later, like, hey, when you started, you could have probably, you know what I mean? Like, you
I learned some things.
I learned some
I
things.
Didn't tell you.
Yeah. You were right, but I used my platform to let you know that, I had to let you, to pay your dues. But and then people come in and you're going to work hard, man. You're going to work hard, but that's okay. It's okay to work hard. I know, you hear catchphrases like work-life balance and all that, and it's important. That stuff is important. But when you're coming in the industry, that's probably not the first thing I want to hear when I'm talking to you as a person who's never done a deal before in your life.
I've had this conversation. Work-life balance is a lie. I've had this conversation. Great book, The One Thing by the founder Keller Williams. He talks about that being a lie, and he talks about work-life counterbalance.
Yeah.
So for somebody who's just coming into the industry, I don't care what place in the industry, or really any industry, there are seasons in your life where you have to make an investment in a career. You can't serve two masters, right?
Yeah.
And so there's times in your life where family's sick or whatever, and you have to, that's going to be a priority in your life. And then there's times where you're trying to develop a career, you're trying to chase a promotion, you're trying to get a new certification or whatever, and it's going to require you to invest more time into that.
Yep.
He talks about the key is communicating.
Yeah.
Right, you got to communicate. Hey, in this season, I'm chasing hard in this direction, but it's going to have an end. This is my runway to it. So, you're still in your honeymoon of being married, though.
That's right. A little bit over a year too.
Yeah.
I got the job, got a new house, and got a new wife. Same month.
They say that you shouldn't do all those things in one time, but that's you.
My whole life.
Go big or go home.
That's right.
Go big or go home. So how are you finding new job, new wife, new house? That's okay. I hope it doesn't have any. I hope you're not doing a remodel.
No,
because that's not a great plan for your new marriage.
Nope.
So how are you counterbalancing new job, new wife?
I mean, my wife is making everything a lot easier, man. I've listened to young people. If you listen to this, I was a guy that was scared of commitment for a very long time, and I realized that commitment is the thing that I love the most because it goes both ways. My wife is so helpful to everything that I'm able to do, and she's helped me accomplish more than I ever would have been able to help accomplish on my own. It's like a kid, man. They think they know everything until they realize that they don't when they become an adult. I became an adult because of my wife in a different way, and now I realize I didn't have the best way of doing things, and it's much better with her than it is on my own.
Listen, we absolutely have to publish that part. Can we tag her? Like, you can give something.
Yeah.
No. I've been in rooms, not on a hot mic, and I know you are excited to be married. I sat down with a guy a few minutes ago, married 29 years.
Yeah.
And we're having some great transparency, and he's like, sometimes when I come home, my wife gets angry, Darren. Or exhausted. He said exhausted, Darren. And I said, sometimes I go home and my wife gets angry, Nathan.
Yeah. Well, we had a conversation outside of the microphone where it was similar to me, but you got to find a balance, like you said.
Yes.
Counterbalance.
Yes. And so communicating and going, okay, like my wife wants to talk about my day. Mm-hmm. She wants to hear the things, Alex, and I know. So and it doesn't matter. I think this is two directional. Whether it's a male coming home, female, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. So what have you learned when you go home and your wife says, "How was your day?"
So I learned to go farther than it was good every day, and I also learned from our group. We have a Bible study that we go to in full candor that we meet at every month. I learned from our group to have a thing, which is now my briefcase that I bring home. Once I put that down, I'm putting everything from work that goes along with that briefcase down for the moment so that I can be a good husband to my wife and a good father to my daughter, and be attentive to them and respond to their questions with more than yes or no questions, and not take out the things that were frustrating me that were tied to my briefcase now, not taking them out on them. And give them time, and even the dog, when he's excited to see me, everybody's
getting some love.
Everybody gets some love.
What kind of dog does Alex Evans have?
Alex Evans has a Shih Tzu poodle.
Of course he does.
Yeah, a very small white.
Listen.
A 20-pound Shih Tzu poodle named Chase Edwards. I don't know why. He has a different last name than us, but his last name is Chase Edward. And man, I love him to death. I'm gonna tell you, it's my wife's dog. Before we got married, she already had the dog, and I did not particularly like Chase very much because he kept having accidents all over my house when we got married.
Yeah.
And so, but he's grown on me, man. I love him to death, man. And sometimes I got to remind myself to say hello to my wife and daughter before I say hello to Chase when I get home. If I'm being honest.
Listen, this is such information that's never forgotten.
But my wife and my daughter don't turn a circle and jump up excited to see me every day when I'm home. Now, they're excited to see me in their own way. But the dog is a little bit more.
They don't pee on the floor either.
Yeah,
I
you're
hope.
right.
So
no,
there's
not
that.
usually.
There's that. There's that. Shih Tzu poodle. That's going to be fantastic. I can't wait till our next Bible study. Share that with the crowd.
I'll bring a picture of him.
Yeah. I'm sure you have it in your pocket.
I might.
You might. No, here's the deal. So for every individual is thinking, I don't know where I'm gonna go and intern. Man, I can imagine, Alex, that you're a great mentor and a great teacher, and I know you had. I know you had some.
I had some great mentors.
I know you had some. So who's the individual or the book that you'd say this was the individual that really set me in a positive direction?
The individual who did the most for my career. Probably, if I met him on the street, wouldn't talk to him, never have anything else in common. We don't have very much in common. God rest his soul, is Steve Weingarten from Weingarten Realty. When I started with Weingarten Realty, he took me under his wing. I told him my goal was to get into the production side of the business when I was in property management, and he gave me opportunities, and then he gave me more opportunities, and then he would give me responsibility, and then he'd give me more opportunities, and he didn't have to do any of that. He didn't have to do not one bit of it, and there was plenty of people that I think probably had more promise than I did, but something he saw in me, grace of God, I'm so thankful for him. He did more for my career than any other person, and I'm always going to be grateful for him. Books, I'm going to be pretty basic on that one. How to Win Friends and Influence People is always my go-to.
It's not broke.
Yeah.
It's not a broke book.
I know.
It may be 100 years old, but it's not a broke book.
And I'm telling you, I just sent it to a young student that I was talking to here at this conference. I emailed it, so mailed it to him. It should be back at his dorm when he gets back there. But I told him, I was like, this book, I went to the Dale Carnegie course when I was, coming up as well. Yeah, that was something that Weingarten did. I got management training. Weingarten gave me, management training because I was good at meeting my goals. But once they gave me other people as under my responsibility, I was angry Alex a lot. I was busy Alex a lot, and I had to learn. I learned it then. I didn't correlate it to my personal life, obviously, and I had to relearn it. But I did learn that, and that's what gets me up in the morning, man. I love dealing with people, man. I love making a positive impact on people, and I did not love property management, which is where I started in the industry, but I love what I learned when I was doing it. And just like in life, sometimes your worst or not your favorite job is the one where you learn the most, and I think that's where I learned the most.
No, I think that's great, and I'm sure that fuels you to make the investment in other people, because you have firsthand experience of what the impact of one individual who's willing to invest some time to hand you some rope, and then when you hang yourself, he's still there. He's like, I'll get you down, and let's try again. Or when you fall down, he gets you back up. I oftentimes talk about that. I was given way more opportunity than I ever deserved.
No. I don't know about that, man.
No, absolutely true. I was 19 years old. I promise you I was dumb. I promise you.
That I believe.
Yeah.
No, that I believe. I didn't believe everything else.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I'm glad. Well, Alex, I mean this. You are a champion. And not like I don't have any idea how good a job you do for Colliers. I really don't.
Yeah.
I see I imagine the things. But as a human being, you're top notch. Yeah. And so any person who's coming out of college and says, where do I want to go take an opportunity, give Colliers a shot. Spend some time with my friend Alex. I promise you, he'll invest in you. You'll be better off, and it'll be great for your career. But and then give him some money. Like don't make him ask twice, man. Help. Listen.
We take no administration fees. All the money goes to to the people.
And come talk to him about it. Yeah. Understand the why, because I know you're passionate about it. I know you've seen the impact, you've seen the influence. You can tell the stories of the kids' faces that light up over a pair of shoes or whatever. And that stuff changes you. Yeah. That stuff changes you. It gives you a different perspective of how you deal with people in general. Yeah. Brings humanity back to humanity. So thank you, Alex, for 15 minutes of time. Yeah. I appreciate you so much, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Likewise, and everything you said back to you, man. And it's a blessing knowing you, man, for sure.
Appreciate you.
All right.